quilt along. We were busy constructing the game quilt with all the construction vehicles. Last week we finished the first row and you've stitched it together. You can go back to the first part if you're unsure how to proceed with your quilt or how to start these blocks. These blocks are all done in the same method. As you can see, I've already completed all my blocks. So I will go through the assembly with you as we go along. It's quite a big project, I know it takes some time, but it's good for people to start something, especially with your smaller 4x4 and 5x5 hoops. That will give you a big result. That is very rewarding, and I really urge you to complete this project throughout. I promise it will be worth every second. Now, on row 2, we got block 7 to 14 is row 2. I'll just put that row aside for now. So you stitch all your blocks, and they are exactly stitched the same method as in the first row that we did. The go block, remember, we had applique steps in, but up until the very last row where we have the stop sign, we don't have any applique further. So the rest of the blocks are all simple hoop, stitch, remove and trim. So that's basically how you will complete the rest of the quilt up until the very last row where you have another applique shape. So I won't do a video every single week because it's going to become quite boring as all the rows are done in the same method. The reason I'm doing a video this week is so that I just can show you how the numbers follow, so that you don't construct your quilt like the first row we went from basically 0 to 6. But now we're not going to go from your left 7 to 14. We're actually going to start 7 from this side, because when you apply the quilt, you actually go that way, then you go up, then you go to your left, then you go up to your right. So you follow the rows left, right, etc. So do make sure that you start from the correct side when you start stitching these blocks together for your second row. Third row again will start from your left, and your fourth row from the right. And you continue in that fashion until you completed all your rows. So for row 7, I'm not going to begin from 14. I'm going to start from block 7, placing it on top of block 8, stitching it together, and so forth. I'm going to add 9 to 8 and stitch that together. Then I'm going to add 10, stitch that together, etc. until my row is all done. I will then come back to the video and I'll show you how to join these two rows. So as you go along, as you finish a row, you can start assembling your rows. We do a row, then we do the second row, and then we join these two rows. Then you do your next row, and then you join it to the first two rows. After week 2, you now have row 1 and 2 complete, and we're now ready to join the two rows together. So you'll put your second row on top of your first row, and then same as when you did the blocks, you'll start from the one corner, push up and through, and through the other side, bringing it down, and then where the blocks meet, let's do this corner. So just see whatever corner works best for you, and then where they meet, just push your pin through. And you're now going to start from the top and stitch same as you did when you did individual blocks, all the way down to join your two rows. row 1 and 2 is joined. You can see it goes from your personalized block where you can add a name to your start, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going up to 14. So this is your second row. You can now go ahead and stitch as you receive the blocks per week. You can stitch the blocks and add your rows until your quilt is completed. For the very last row, I will have another video tutorial to show you then how to finish off your quilt, add binding, add the backing, and then we're going to do the dice and our little play pieces in the final video. So tune back. After you've stitched together all your rows, this is what your quilt would look like. I'll post some photos of the completed quilt after I've done the next tutorial with your added sashing. A tip for you all is after each block you sew together. Take the time and iron it flat from the back. Open your seam allowance, so iron open all your seams, and iron from the front as well, so everything lies nice and flat, so that it doesn't distort. So even if you add your rows, after you've stitched together 2 rows, open it up and iron open your seam allowance, and from the front just iron it nice and flat. It's really very important to iron after each seam to make sure that everything will line up properly and for easier stitching. Please do not use a very thick batting. You will battle to stitch it together, especially where you have lots of stitching on either side. If the batting is too thick, then your machine will have difficulty stitching it together. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you're unsure about anything, I'm here to help and make sure this is a beginner's quilting tutorial. So I want to assist you to get your perfect results as well. Do tune in for our next tutorial. That will be to add your sashing and your backing and your binding. I hope you will enjoy making the rest of this quilt, and I can't wait to see everybody's version. Enjoy, and thank you so much for watching.